Now, this summer will see students sit exams for the first time since 2019. But in a change to previous years, students in England will learn what topics they will be tested on in their GCSE and A-level exams so they can hone in on what they need to revise. Is it the best way forward? They've had a tough time the past couple of years. All students have, really, whether they've been homeschooled and doing things on Zoom and everything else. Is this just a little bit of help at the end of a very difficult time?
Well, I feel actually really sorry for students at the minute because, you know, 2 years of trying to learn by Zoom or Skype is not ideal. And how do you learn about engineering or mechanics or carpentry, you know, by watching a Zoom, everything. I know, actually, one of my grandchildren, he chose design, and it was design mainly for clothing and so on. But how do you do that without feeling the cloth, cutting the patterns? So really, you know, his first year at uni was fine, but the next two, he didn't get any, you know, one-to-one training, really. And I felt really, really sorry for him. But, I mean, when I go back, I mean, talking about this new idea, when I go back to my grammar school all those years ago, I distinctly remember with history and geography, the teachers would say, concentrate on Asia or concentrate on that period of history. So I don't think it's a particularly new thing, but I want our students to have a bit of help. I do. I think they deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Janet, do you think it's setting them up for a fall?
I'm in two minds about it because I think that I wouldn't like it to be the start of grade inflation and that employers would look at people who have these qualifications that result from these exams and not, you know, think, oh, well, they had a bit of a leg up, they're not that good as perhaps the people who were a couple of years before. I also think that exams are very, very important, although there's a big movement where people say, why can't we do it with, you know, evaluating coursework? Why can't we judge people in another way? I just think at the end of the day, sitting down, focusing on something and addressing a problem is the best way to be tested in so many things.
But, Janet, just to cut in just on that issue, the thing is that this is a really unusual period of time, which I think you'd agree with. Hopefully, once this year is over, if it continues the way we hope, things will go back to what we would deem normality.
Yeah, but, and it is a big but, the A-levels in my day are now at degree level. I mean, grades for O-levels and A-levels have relaxed over the years anyway. So not only is the way that people taught been changed and been affected really badly by COVID over the last 2 years, actually the academic achievement of this country has just been, you know, softened. It's not as rigorous.
Well, why is that?
You have to encourage it. You can't just put it on the side.
Well, we live in a society where nobody wants to be a failure. The fact is, some people are good at academic things and some people are good at technical things. A rare number of people are good at both. And unfortunately, we haven't poured enough money in our education system into technical achievement. It's seen by a lot of teenagers in particular as, you know, oh, well, I don't really want to be a plumber or an electrician, I don't really want to learn a trade. Instead of, we need the government and employers to invest all their effort into apprenticeships and technical training so that, yes, it will be good if everybody could pass exams, but why not just have a different kind of exam system, for example, like they do in France and a lot of European countries, where you're tested on 5 subjects, for example, instead of having to, you know, like back in my day, we did like 11 O-levels. You were just grabbing any O-level subject. You wanted to build up a big portfolio of all these Mickey Mouse things that you were never going to use again.
But you can't, at the same time, I agree with a lot of what you say about learning a trade and everything, but you can't disregard the people who have suffered, students who have suffered for 2 years. It is an extraordinary period of time for all of us.
No, I just worry about what the next
but if you don't at least give them a leg up at the moment...
Yeah, but what about the people now that have lost part of the year? So in the next academic year, are they going to come forward and say, oh, well, we had these issues? You know, is there always going to be...
What I said, it would go back, we hope, to normality, to the way it would normally pan out for exams.
Well...
It'd be interesting, actually, to hear what people think, you know, because they would be sitting at home there with...
Well, I do think that the main thing at the moment is that universities are still charging full fees and teaching people, as you talked about your grandson.
Which I think is awful.
By online, and that is shocking.
Oh, I love that sound. down.
No!
That was my school bell. Sorry. It will continue after school. Ladies,
School's out.
thank you.